Today, see which one Victoria's Secrets is, selfish or selfless, and how you too are massively affected by this fact. 88% of today's consumers believe that brands are selfish. We can do better, and I'm going to tell you how in just a minute. Selfish branding versus selfless branding. Who wins? Hey everyone, this is Canon Wing with Inspiration to Millions. I have some really good stuff for you today. I was really excited to come across a recent study of 2,000 consumers that revealed that 88% of people believe that brands are selfish. 88%. When you see high statistics like that, do you see a perfect opportunity for us to do better than 88% of all other brands out there today? Narrow statistics present a major window of opportunity to come out of nowhere and be an inspiration to millions. Today, we are going to discuss the red flags of a selfish brand so we know what not to do. Then we're going to use my 10 landmarks of branding as a guide for eliminating any possibility that your brand could be classified as selfish in the eyes of your ideal individual. When you build a brand like a hometown, using the 10 landmarks of branding, there is no room for selfishness. A brand that is built like a hometown is it's community-centric. The focus is on supporting a thriving and vibrant community because a community that makes a hometown is what makes a hometown so great, isn't it? The people. It's never the other way around. The brand isn't what makes the people. The people always make the brand. Always. And that's tweet, tweet. The brand isn't what makes the people make the brand. I'm sure you've realized that the internet has completely transformed the way we do business. We have the ability to get closer to our ideal individuals better than ever before. And with this new level of intimacy between buyer and seller, that has evolved a whole new different level of needs that our ideal individuals want to be met by the brands they trust. Emotional needs. Today's consumers want to feel seen and heard. We want to know you care about us and believe in our highest potential. We want to know we aren't alone, and we want to be able to showcase our affiliation with your brand as though we're an extension of who we are and what we stand for with our hometown pride-like enthusiasm. When I see that 88% of consumers believe that brands are selfish, what that tells me is that many brands out there haven't learned what they need to listen more closely than ever before to their ideal individuals. It tells me that many brands are still milking archaic methods that just aren't working anymore. The curtain has not been pulled back. It's completely torn away. As consumers in today's digital economy, we are too smart to fall for old methods. And we don't want to be treated that way. Take it down to a very basic example. When you're speaking with someone, and maybe they aren't telling you the whole story, or they're trying to convince you of something, but the details just don't quite match up. You can feel it in your gut, right? We have this innate sense within us that will say, don't trust this person right away. Something's not quite right here. It's the same with choosing which brands to trust. The decision to buy has always been emotional. And MRI studies have proven that choosing brands is done with the same emotional responses as choosing friends or partners. And now that the internet has brought us closer together, more closely than we've ever been, the emotional needs of consumers and their ability to sense inauthenticity has skyrocketed. Brands can either strap on their jetpacks and rise to meet their ideal individuals where they are today, or they can fall by the wayside. The internet has also created a phenomenon of the blink test. As consumers, we have so many options, and our personal space is constantly being flooded with advertisements everywhere we look. And as a result, consumers have evolved into professional deleters. Statistics show that the average person sees 5,000 ads a day and deletes 99% of them. Again, these high statistics are the opportunities for your brand to come out of nowhere. A person decides within 3 to 5 seconds whether they're interested in having a relationship with your brand or not. If they don't love the way your brand makes them feel immediately, then blink, you get deleted. And this is why it is so valuable to build your brand like a hometown. A hometown is where people feel understood, welcomed, and wanted. People will often forget what they see and hear, but will always remember how something or someone has made us feel. If there's even a hint of selfishness in a brand, a hint that a brand doesn't understand us or our needs, a hint that a brand is underestimating our intelligence, that brand gets deleted. We just have too many options to settle for less. Let's jump right in with the top 3 red flags of a selfish brand so that you can avoid them. Selfish brands cut corners. They pretend to be something they're not and make people feel bad about themselves. Cutting corners is selfishness that is most often seen in clothing and tech companies. It means the promise of a quality product or service is there, but the quality of the product or service is quietly diminishing over time. Actually, I have a great example of this from an article I just read in the Business Insider. Victoria's Secret is facing a crisis right now with a mass exodus of brand loyalists between the ages of 18 to 49. Sales are down 5% and 20 stores have already shut down across the country. Part of the issue seems to be related to today's women looking for a more body-positive message. Victoria's Secret is failing under that scrutiny for being tone deaf by continuing to showcase super skinny models who are failing to resonate with most women. This qualifies them under making people feel like bad about themselves. But that doesn't necessarily account for the brand loyalists who have been enthusiastic about Victoria's Secret for over a past decade. Beyond these marketing missteps, a much bigger problem looms over the company. All one need do is take to the internet to find out why Victoria's Secret is losing brand loyalty. Go to their Facebook page and you'll see complaint after complaint regarding shoddy materials that are falling apart after a few washes. One customer wrote something like, "Their quality has declined while their prices increase." Yikes, it's like the worst thing anybody could say. A review that stood out to me in particular, it read, "You've changed the manufacturing of one of the best bras I've ever worn. You ruined it with cheap construction and thin fabrics." When I read that, I thought to myself, did Victoria's Secret think we wouldn't notice the change after years of being loyal to the brand? Do they think we were stupid? Here's another good one. Victoria's Secret's real secret is your stores are understaffed, your lingerie is being ever more shoddily made, and your sales associates vacillate between disinterested and openly hostile and completely inept. Burn! When I was in high school, it was impossible to get a job at Victoria's Secret, and the staff of the boutique was like shishi quality. Maybe you fellows out there don't spend a lot of time shopping at Victoria's Secret, maybe you do. But this is one great example for everyone because we all know how big this brand has been in the past. Even the biggest names in branding can't get away with being selfish and cutting corners. Not anymore. Pretending to be something they are not is a selfishness that dwells within the brand's culture and the internal culture. And when a brand offers about health and wellness, but it treats its staff like workhorses and doesn't pay them a living wage, it's only a matter of time before that inconsistency in character spills out onto your customers. Whatever your promise for a greater future that your brand is offering your ideal individuals, it should be the same promise that your brand offers to your employees. Like Richard Branson says, take care of your employees and your employees take care of your business, take care of your customers. If your employees aren't on the same hero's journey that has been mapped out by your brand as it has for your customers, when your employees and your customers interact, their interaction is eventually going to clash. A brand that isn't selfish takes care of its employees as if they were customers, and the employees take care of the customers as if they were all part of the same family. The final and probably the most prevalent red flag of a selfish brand is making people feel bad about themselves. This is happening everywhere. And in my opinion, it is the most selfish of them all. It's the small thinking that makes people feel small. Instead of connecting with people on a vulnerable and emotional level and promising a greater future, it exploits human vulnerability and hints towards our darkest fears. When it comes to creating a brand community, making people feel bad about themselves, making them feel like they're not enough, is the equivalent of misery loves company. When using a sales tactic that instills the feelings of guilt, fear, scarcity, which can be very powerful emotional triggers, a brand may find it impossible to create a culture that results in a vibrant and thriving community. Seems obvious when you lay it out like that, right? First of all, making people feel bad about themselves just doesn't work that well at all anymore. We are all too smart for that. We've seen it everywhere. In every news story, and the Netflix specials, and the TVs, and the movies, and advertising, magazines, everywhere. We can't get through even one day without hearing some ridiculous, "the peas in your kitchen are going to kill you" type of claim. For the most part, this type of advertising is falling on deaf ears. Second, there are ways to utilize the very powerful emotional triggers of fear and scarcity without being deceptive or spreading negativity. For instance, many of the sites I shop on will notify me when there are only one or two of the items in my cart left in my size. Yeah, this creates an urgency, a fear that I might miss out. But if it's true, an item that I want is about to go out of stock, then I want to know about that. I want to know I need to get on the ball and buy now, before it's too late. You don't have to say the peas in your kitchen are going to kill you. Just knowing that a window of opportunity is about to close, and if that's true, that it can definitely close the deal. It can move that person to buy now. This is a helpful and honest way using scarcity that doesn't spread fear and scarcity throughout your brand or your brand community. This is the difference between inspiring an emotion and exploiting an emotion. One leads to building a vibrant and thriving brand community, and the other poisons the well. Selfish brands exploit emotions. Brands that are built like a hometown inspire emotions, positive emotions. So let's run through the 10 landmarks of branding so you can build your brand like a hometown that is community-centric. The first thing to do is to name the emotion your brand wishes to inspire in your ideal individual. Remember, an emotion is a raw feeling. Quality, luxury, convenience, these are not emotions. When you name the emotion your brand wishes to inspire, you have your touchstone for every one of the 10 landmarks of branding. The emotional inspiration you choose to be constant throughout the entire structure of your brand. Name, tagline, logo are the first 3 landmarks of branding, and they're also the first thing your ideal individuals will see during the blink test. You want a name that is a calling into being of a greater future for your ideal individual. They are walking around this earth with a wish that needs to be fulfilled, a greater future that they want to live into, their ideal self ready to burst out. And when you can say that out loud, proudly as the name of your brand, and they see it, they see exactly where they want to be, and they begin to follow you. And that's exactly the purpose of a name, is to get a following. When they see a name that is so personal to you and has nothing to do with them, they just walk by. They just blink and they're gone because they feel like they don't belong, right? A personal inside joke or a personal inside reference is just that. It's for you, not for the world. I actually have a personal experience with this that I can share with you. I've been naming for a major business and popular products for over 20 years when I was hired by a lovely company to name, let's call it laundry detergent, because my whole life's under an NDA. So I present my list of potential names to a committee of associates for their brand new laundry detergent. And it's going great. Everyone loves several of the options I've created. They're standing up, they're taking pictures, they're super excited. They've narrowed it down to a few top contenders. And I'm leaving feeling pretty super excited to find out which one my client will choose. So I get the call the next day and he says, we only received 1 name. I said, well, that's odd. We narrowed it down to 3. Which one did you receive? And I'm shocked to hear my client speak a name that was not on my list. What the heck is going on? Come to find out, one of the associates wanted to throw a name of his own into the ring. It was a word that reminded him personally of a fond memory during his vacation with his young son. Very sweet. The only problem is that no one else on earth is going to care. It meant nothing to anyone but him. It had nothing to do with the product. This is what I called commodified narcissism. Trying to package and sell something that is all about themselves and not about their ideal individual. After my client and I discovered what had happened, we held a quick coaching session where I explained the importance of thinking from the perspective of the ideal individual you are asking to buy your products. While asking myself, am I reaching everyone I can possibly reach with this name? When choosing a name for your brand, making it too personal to you can be limiting your reach. More often than not, it is seriously limiting your reach. So always, while naming, see through the eyes, the mind, most especially the heart of your ideal individual. Next, we have tagline. Tagline is the invitation to the party. It lets your ideal individual know what kind of party you're throwing, and it makes them feel like they belong at that party. The tagline is an invitation to that greater future. This is your first opportunity to let them know your brand knows them best. Your tagline should be like the title of their hero's journey. They should join just to belong to that brand, just to get onto that adventure. Just do it is the title of many people's hero's journey. The logo is a picture that says 1,000 words. Make it consistent with the style, fashion, and emotion your ideal individual is seeking to embody by joining your brand. And the next 3 landmarks are story, website, and social media. To avoid seeming selfish in your brand story, curate it to meet your ideal individual where they are today. You've already made your hero's journey and returned to the village with the secret elixir, the key to the map, the solution your brand has to offer. Your brand story should invite your ideal individual to fill in for the main character and imagine themselves as the hero in their own version of redemption and success. Don't mask the stumbling blocks along the way, but don't dwell on them either. Story is your opportunity to let your ideal individual see that your brand has a human heart. When it comes to website and not being a selfish brand, it's all about easy, easy, easy. Easy to navigate, easy to understand, easy to verify, easy to access customer support. One of the most important aspects to any brand's website is making the reviews prominent and transparent. If you get a negative review, respond in an open forum and do whatever is necessary to turn the situation around. If people can see that a mistake has been handled with care and integrity, they are far less likely to consider it a put-off. Social media for brands that aren't selfish are releasing content that isn't constantly related to making purchases. Instead, they're sharing relevant posts that demonstrate the brand's values and ethics. Social media is a platform where you show your brand's selfless involvement in the betterment of the community. Another brilliant thing that unselfish brands are doing is creating opportunities for the ideal individual to create the content that is shared on the brand's social media pages. This can be as simple as choosing a weekly positive review, sharing it and naming it like selected individual as the winner of a special deal or discount. Other brands have art contests or asking for photos of the ideal individual enjoying the brand. Making it about them is your social media priority. The next 3 landmarks are product, services, campaigns, and blog. Products and services of an unselfish brand are as simple as this: promise made, promise kept, delivered as promised, and functions as promised. Make customer service readily available and make returns and exchange as painless as possible. Campaigns are your brand's opportunity to improve the lives of the people in your community in a way that is consistent with your brand's promise for a greater future. Campaigns make excellent, emotional, inspiring content. Social media and blog content can come from your campaigns. When your ideal individual sees that your brand is using its profits in part to make the world a better place, we all get to share in the good of that result. There's nothing less selfish than being of service to your community. Your enthusiasm will go very far here. The blog of an unselfish brand releases material that acts as a helping hand. Your brand's blog should hold the keys, the helpful hints, the enabling devices that will offer continuous support and motivation as your community strives towards their greater future. People stumble along the way, and your blog is a place that helps them get back up, understand the stumble so that they don't go through it again. Your brand's blog should be all about keeping the emotion your brand has inspired them alive and full of promise. It should delight their senses and ignite their will to persevere, to get that gold. And the final and by far the most important landmark of branding is values and ethics. If the emotion your brand wishes to inspire is the touchstone, values and ethics are the cornerstone. Everything about your brand from top to bottom should be a clear and resonant representation of your brand's values and ethics. Today's most trusted and loved brands are headed up by CEOs who don't make a single move or a single call without running it by the values and ethics of their brand. Everything from how they choose the brand's name to how they treat their interns are built firmly from the cornerstone of values and ethics. This is the best way to ensure your brand is being represented consistently for your ideal individuals. It's a daily act of unselfishness that will start a chain reaction of solid customer service. It's a labor of love that will always inspire both your employees and your customers to love your brand like a hometown. I always say, if it ain't got heart, go back to the start. Your brand's values and ethics are your start. No exceptions. So let's recap the 10 landmarks of branding: their name, tagline, logo, story, website, social media, products and services, campaigns, blog, and values and ethics. Make a list of all 10 landmarks for yourself, and by using the red flags of selfish brand as a guide, cutting corners, pretending to be something you are not, making people feel bad about themselves, brainstorm a few ways you can make each of them inside of your landmarks more about your ideal individuals than they are about you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Get ready to strap on your jetpack and skyrocket your brand way past these narrow statistics and straight into the hearts of your ideal individuals. Listen to them. And if you are just starting out, listen to what your competitors' customers are saying and start planning to meet their emotional needs by knowing them even better. The brand that knows them the best is the brand that wins. And as an added bonus for you, the most unselfish thing you can do in building a brand like a hometown is to build with love, right from the ground up. So remember to always love what you do and love how you do it. Thanks for watching. Don't miss out on a single thing. Subscribe below. And here's something else I think you'll love.